Morency Unfiltered on the Fantasy Sports Network continues. I am Gabe Morency. We promised you football. Well, we've given you NFL football, NCAA football, and CFL football picks so far on the program. Now we're going to get some Australian rules picks as well from our AFL tipster, Myk Aussie. Myk, always a pleasure. How you doing?
Yeah, mate, loving it. The NFL week one, fantastic. So, yeah, I'm like you, mate. There's so much going on. It's overwhelming, but it's great. Best time of the year for me, mate.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff going on. And your Denver Broncos dodged a bullet because the Panthers missed a field goal. I just called it earlier, Myk, a couple of minutes ago on the program. I called the Indianapolis Colts to win outright and beat your Denver Donkeys.
Oh, I heard you say that last night on Game Time Decisions. I wouldn't be so sure of that. Like, the Colts have got no defense, and I've actually taken Matt Ryan as my quarterback this week in your Sports Rage Fantasy, because I can't pick luck against the Broncos D, so yeah, I'm a big Broncos fan. But you're right, I'm a bit worried about
So you're telling me Andrew Luck's your quarterback, but you're not playing him because you're a Bronco fan?
Absolutely, mate. And Matt Ryan's all right. He might do all right up there in Oakland. I think the Raiders will win, but I'll take Matt Ryan this week.
Yeah, no, you're right. Matt Ryan will probably put up some pretty good numbers. You know, even last week, Ryan put up some pretty decent fantasy numbers. But you're really hardcore, Myk. Like, so you don't want to be pulling for Andrew Luck in any way at all, right?
Absolutely, mate. And this is why I avoided fantasy for so long, because I'm a team guy, but I'm loving the fantasy. But nah, can't have Andrew Luck this week. But I won the first round in your competition. I see you did too, so looking forward to it. I reckon there might be a few upsets this week, mate.
Yeah, there'll be a few upsets. The Colts beating the Broncos. That's one of the upsets. All right, so you've got your other favorite team in action, except this is a little bit bigger game. You know, big game against the Colts, but bigger game against the Swans, the Adelaide Crows and the Sydney Swans. The Swans are 7.5-point favorites. The over-under is 176.5, Myk.
All right, well, that spread's gone down from 10.5 to 8.5 and now 7.5. So there's people like me that believe the Crows can win. It's in Sydney. It's the battle of one of the best offenses against one of the best defenses. So Crows have got 4 great forwards. Eddie Betts, you love that name, Betts. You're the betting man. Eddie Betts is on fire.
Eddie Betts, a great name.
So yeah, it's in Sydney. Sydney a bit stronger in the midfield probably, but no, it's going to be a ripper, mate. And a lot of the Dogs have been winning. The Bulldogs won last night against the Hawks.
Crazy, yeah. You must be happy. The Hawks can't win for the 5th time in a row.
Yeah, 4th time in a row. Their dynasty's over. Good luck to the Bulldogs, a very young team. And they were lucky to survive because teams in Melbourne had it tough there for a while. So good on the Bulldogs. But yeah, the Crows and the Swans going to be a great game.
All right. So what's Myk Senior saying? Because you're biased. You're a homer. You just told us that you can't even start Andrew Luck this week because you're a Bronco fan. I get it, but so you're calling an upset. You're going to say the Crows win, right?
All right, what I'm going to say, mate, is I read a lot and watch a lot, but I've got a couple of very good informants. One is my dad, Kev Senior, and the other one is Joel O'Brien, the ex-AFL Canada boss, and they're both saying Crows to probably lose and Swans to cover just. But, hey, you know what? The saying, mums knows best. Well, my mum reckons the Crows are going to win, so I don't know, mate. I think the Swans will win, but I like the Crows to maybe win and maybe cover. So it's anyone's call. I'll take the Crows to cover. There you go.
All right. So this game's at the SCG, right?
Yes, it is, mate. It's Sydney home field. Crows are right travelling. They've lost a few finals on the road, so yeah, definite home field advantage for the Swans. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, they played in round 8. They played in round 8 this year, and the Swans beat them 117 to 65. Yet the Crows beat them earlier in the season, week 4, round 4. Adelaide Crows 113, Sydney Swans 103. When I look at this, Myk, I see relatively higher scoring matches, or at least compared to what the total is here, at 176.5. I got to bet the over 176.5 points. That's not a lot of points.
Yeah, you might be right. I was talking to Dad. They had a heap of rain in Adelaide down there at Victor Harbour, like 5 inches of rain, a lot of rain for down there. He's worried the rain was going to go across to Sydney, but it's projected to be dry. So yeah, the over's a good bet there too, mate, especially with those Crows forwards.
All right, I got to be honest with you, Mick. I'm having a hard time keeping up with all this stuff. It's confusing me. So, you know, we got Sydney and Adelaide. Last night we had Western and Hawthorn. Now next week we have Great Western, Sydney and Western. So the winner of Sydney and Adelaide's playing the Cats then, right?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. The Cats will play the winner of the Crows and the Swans. And this is a bit rough. Whoever wins tonight, the Crows and the Swans only get 6 days break, where the other teams get 8 days break. So the AFL are mucking up a little bit there. But yeah, that's going to be... The finals have been fantastic. Some of the underdogs have won, so looking forward to hopefully another underdog winning tonight in the Crows.
Well, we have a point spread already, Mick. We've got Great Western Sydney's minus 12.5 against Western, which that's a lot of points. You come with Western. Western's on a magical ride right now. Seems like the line's a little high. Yeah,
well, mate, it's going to be in Sydney out there at this Western Sydney Oval, and I tell you what. They might win that, but it's great that 2 young teams are going to be in that final. And the Swans game versus the Giants game last week was absolutely fantastic. Watch it on TV. There was fights, there was pushing and shoving. It was really good footy, mate.
All right, speaking of fights and pushing and shoving, are Eskimo and Rough Rider fans going to be fighting, Mick? The Eskimos and the Rough Riders on Sunday. Eskimos 5-point road favorites.
Yeah, I think they'll smash them, mate. They shouldn't have lost against the Stampeders. I was at the game and they blew that one, so it shows they can go right with the best team in the Calgary Stampeders. I'm a bit upset with those Calgary boys again, but they're coming up here tomorrow to play Aussie footy, so let's hope it's a really good game here in Aussie footy as well tomorrow. But yeah, I think the Eskimos will smash the Riders, mate.
All right, Myk Aussie. Follow him on Twitter at Myk Aussie. All right, Mick, it's another busy weekend, man. AFL playoffs, college football, CFL football, NFL football, and don't forget about the World Scam of Hockey tournament that starts tomorrow too.
Oh, I'm not too worried about that, but you should go for a walk tomorrow. And there's Aussie football down there in Toronto, the AFL Ontario Finals, the Rebels and the Roos, and then up there in Ottawa, the Swans play the Hamilton boys. So it's all happening, mate.
Hey, listen, Mick, I love the AFL, but my skinny ass is going to be watching Florida State and Louisville tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for joining us, Mick.
All right, mate. Might be good for you to go for a walk, though. See you later. Have a great weekend betting, mate.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? What do you mean, go for a walk? I go and walk all the time. I walk all the time. My cardio's great, Mick. All right, get rid of this guy. There's Myk Aussie. Thanks, Mick. There's Myk Aussie. What else? Might do me good to go for a walk. This is coming from a guy that drinks beer like 18 hours a day. All right, take a quick break. We're going to come back with our college football picks.